Hey, how you doing? This is John, and welcome to John's Long Box. Yes, I'm wearing my Patriarch shirt. I got it. It's really comfortable and it's really form fitting. So be, buyer beware. But yes, I've been trying to get a shirt like this for a long time, and I went to all the local places by me. There's a couple of local, excuse me. There's a couple of local T-shirt places, and one place I paid for, and they were just about to start production, and something told me to call and make sure. So I called them. I stopped the production, and then I went down there. It was only a couple blocks away, and they physically showed me what they were going to do. And I was like, no, they were going to take this triangular design and just put everything, and then just on a box. So right here, it would just be this. I was like, no, I want the whole shirt as if it's a costume. And they said they couldn't do it. So I stopped, and then I there was a place next to me, and they could do it. They explained everything that I wanted and everything, but it was literally 3 times the price for this, a local place. I'm probably going to use this local place for my Mary Sue shirt because it doesn't have to be what they call total dye sublimation. So they actually explain the process. The shirt, like on the seams, so it's like what, 3 pieces. The 3 pieces are dyed, and then the shirt is assembled. The place near me could do it, but like I said, it was just way too much money. So I just Googled sublimated T-shirts, and a couple of places showed up, and I submitted designs to a bunch of them, and believe it or not, only one responded. They did a mock-up within a day or two, and they were half the price of the local place. I'm sorry, local place. I mean, it's still, for you guys, it's $35 a shirt, shipping included. $35 a shirt. I got 6 made just to see if there's any interest, but it only takes like a week. So if and 6 is their minimum order. So I'll put in of course, if I put in an order for 24, it'll be cheaper, but I'll do 6 at a time unless I get a wave. So there you go. So that's the story of the shirt. I love it. I love it. The only problem I have is this gray part. I wish it was a little lighter, but that's my own fault. The picture I sent them had the Patriarch like under lights. So because the Patriarch is supposed to be white and purple, but I dig this. I really dig it. And then the back has the cape. It is just so freaking cool. So I already sold 1. So I got 6 made. Smallest is large. So large is the smallest. Then extra large, double extra large. I got two of each size. I mean, if you want a medium, just wait 2 weeks. I just went back to work. They messed up my pay. My nephew got my pay because his name is Jimmy. So they just typed in J Boa and paid my nephew. So if so I won't be able to put it in an order until I get my pay straightened out. Welcome back to work. We paid your nephew instead of you. So before we begin, let's go down and check out the comments. Of course, the first comment is Heroic Tales. That's my comic. Should be showing up anytime this week, So I will be shipping. I'm hoping Friday, because Friday I'm taking off work. I have to go get an MRI to see how my neck is healing. So here's the proof copy, and the regular copy should be coming this week. And then I will be bagging and boarding. I will show you this. I cleaned up this area over here. Here's the scale. This is the printer, because I sold a T-shirt last night, so I wanted to set up the printer for shipping. I set up an account at Pirate Ship, put in some money. So I'm all ready to go. It took me all night to figure out how to get this stupid Rollo printer working. Whatever I did, it would not work. Whatever it did, I watched videos. I downloaded the software. I watched videos. And so finally, I called the customer service. I have to say that customer service was excellent. This woman came on the phone. She did a remote control of my computer and was like, doo, 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 doo. You know what the problem was? I put the shipping labels upside down. That's it. So I just had to open it up, put the shipping. So it was trying to print on the plastic rather than the paper. That was it. I was ready to pick up this thing and smash it into the wall. The next item of business to talk about before we begin everything is Vanessa Danger has like a crowdfunding award show last night. They do it for fun. It's fun. And somebody told me that Stipp and Vaughn told me that they nominated me. Now, I came in fourth for what is it? Exciting program or something like that. So that's cool. That's cool. Came in fourth. Can't complain. Can't complain. Best new creator, I think it was. I mean, I wasn't going to argue that I was. Oh, it's because of comics, not because of YouTube show. Yeah. There you go. Now it makes sense. All right, so let's check down the. Hey, Praetor, how you doing? How you doing? How's everybody? Marcus, how's it going? Marcus, good job on Don's studio last night. You know, you guys got like 100 viewers or so. Good for you. All right. I got my blessing. I could go about my business knowing that I have an invulnerable shield of Zaktan blessing about me. Keep all the demons away. Marcus. Oh, I forget if I said this or not, but right now, Fund My Comic is the only way to get my comic. Fund My Comic is the only way. It's no longer on Kickstarter. It's done on Indiegogo. I think it's done on Indiegogo for good. I don't think I'm ever going to use Indiegogo again. I didn't do well. I still don't like that they shadow ban people, and the to get the information and everything is really, really difficult. Out of the three sites, Indiegogo to me was the most difficult to use. So there you go. Fund My Comic. All the covers are there. You could get the Mike Gustovich cover there. If you had already backed and you're like, I don't want to pay another, if you got like, 3 covers already and you want to throw in the Mike Gustovich cover, say something to me. Say something to me. I couldn't figure out how to make like another tier of like, if you just want this, you got to pay shipping. That's the way it is. But if you already backed and you want me to blend it in, I couldn't figure out how to do that. So there you go. What else we got here? You're too fat for that shirt? Me too. Me too. But look how it's got the muscles shaded and inked on it already. I'm going to try to lose a little bit of weight and get back in shape, after 3 months of sitting on my butt. Hey, old dirty fatty. How's it going, everybody? It's good to see. Feldsbugs, how you doing? The shirt looks great. Thank you. Somebody had asked me if it's cotton. It is not cotton. I forget the name of the blend, but they don't do a total sublimation cotton shirt. Although I want to do the Mary Sue as a cotton shirt because it's just a white shirt with a blue collar and then her symbol on it. So I think I could do that in cotton. Sublimation is a fun word. Yes. Old dirty fatty saying hello, everybody. Hey, Torchbearer, how you doing? How you doing? I drink coffee in everybody's honor. It's just an excuse to take us up. Large is the smallest. Sounds like a Texas t-shirt. Yeah, well, I didn't want to make smalls and mediums and then sit on them. So plus are they going to shrink? I don't know. So this is a double X. I'm wearing a double X. So it's a little big on me, but I like it. Give me room to breathe. You could put it on your next campaign too, since they're made to order. Yes, absolutely. I got a lot to offer on my next campaign. A lot to offer. Just had a long conversation with Renzo last night. We got a lot going on. And we're streamlining. I'm gonna make things a little bit more inexpensive. Like I don't have to buy this printer stuff anymore. I'm not. I don't think Mary Sue is going to get a pint glass. It just doesn't seem to fit the character. I would like to get something for Mary Sue that's different, but I don't know yet. Ideas just come like a lightning bolt with me. I'm not the kind of guy that sits there like with a story. I'll sit there and think and think and think. But when it comes to like whatever, it's almost like that's a good idea. And I'm like, I have like, I guess the low willpower. It's like I have to act on it. Hey, Feldsbug, how you doing? RJ's here. Happy Sunday. How's it good? It always feels emasculating to me when somebody remotely takes care. Yeah, I have to say, because I called them. She called me. The phone call said it came from Las Vegas, Nevada, which is what it said on the. I got all this paperwork and everything, and it said contact customer support. So I was like, but believe me, for a split second there, I was like, but I had the paper upside down, so it didn't even matter what she was looking through. Fourth is pretty good. Yeah, I can't complain. Who beat me? Michael Bancroft. I'll show you who beat me. I took a screenshot of the. Okay, so this is who beat me. Oh. Hyper Wizard, Razor Fist, Arvid Nelson, Sierra Whiskey, John's Long Box. Best new creator. I can't complain. Can't complain at all. You're higher than fourth in my book, at least third. I'll take it. The chat didn't do the final vote yet. That was the nominations. Oh, really? That wasn't the final vote? Oh, well. I thought that was the final vote. And the studio is fun. For those of you who don't know what we're talking about, the studio is Don Draws Stuff. Has a show on Saturday nights where they draw stuff. Don is a good artist. I think he's doing the cover to Phenomena Over 2. He does a lot of coloring. Don's been reinvigorated. He's a good guy, and he started. He was having problems with the internet for the longest time. I think he lives like on a moon of Jupiter or something like that, and then they finally got him hooked up. He was raging about the cable company service by him. I think he lives in a real rural area. And now Saturday nights, I think is it 7 or 8 o'clock, and they draw and they talk. It's fun. I think I was on the first episode. The problem was last night was I really wanted to see this nomination stuff. The week before, my wife and I went to the movies. Saturday night is rough. When you're a cool, happening dude. Now, usually my wife and I do stuff on Saturday nights. Hell, Marcus. Hey, Jimmy's here. Good morning. Yep, I'll need a shirt ready for a shipping party. If we knew about last night's show, you should have been first. Jimmy is my buddy. Jimmy and I have we've been friends since third grade. He's his characters will be in Heroic Tales. I'm trying to think. I don't think any of his characters are in the first issue. Oh, yes. Yeah, what am I talking about? Lucius Kane is Jimmy's character. The suit is Jimmy's character. Yeah, that's right. Jeez, I forgot about that. So what am I talking about? We play a role-playing game called Villains and Vigilantes. And, Heroic Tales is inspired by Villains and Vigilantes, all of our wonderful, imaginative, creative stories. And I made Heroic Tales, and then I purposely didn't want to use anybody's characters because I didn't feel I had the right. And then my friends were getting mad at me. What are you doing? Why didn't you? But issue 2 is going to be chock full of my friends' characters. There's you'll see. I can't wait for it. Oh, Renzo he drew a whole bunch of them. They look great. And then Jimmy, tonight at 2:30 Eastern Standard Time, Walt Simonson will be on my channel. Me and Jimmy have like 3 comics that we just like devoured as kids, that we love. New Teen Titans, that was like, oh God, me and Jimmy just read that like every month and talked about it. Like super. The other one was Moon Knight, Doug Moench and Bill Sienkiewicz, and then Walt Simonson's Thor. Just 3 great comics that we were just crazy about as kids. So there you go. Eric the Guapo, how you doing, Eric? How's everything? Good to see you. And Mary Sue Beaker. Oh, that's kind of funny. That's kind of a funny because she's a scientist. You could do your own the science at home. Yeah, Bancroft, as far as I'm concerned, deserves number one in every category. Like he is, to me, him and like Graham Nolan. They're like the gold standard. Of the only reason, like, but Graham Nolan was like mainstream for years, but I'm talking like a guy that just, as far as I know, maybe I'm wrong, never was in the mainstream, just started out on the internet and just built everything up from scratch. It's Bancroft. Bancroft is just a great guy all around. Gave me lots of advice. He launched my comic. I will never ever, say anything bad about that guy. He's pure class. No one beat you last night was the nominations. Okay, there we go. Okay, I was not aware. I thought I won. Well, it was an honor just to be nominated. Those were just the nominations. Okay. You will move up the ranks once they see you in that shirt. I'm just laughing at myself. Good morning, everybody. Hey, you doing, Crenshaw? How's everybody? How's everything? Is he frozen? Am I frozen? Did I freeze up, everybody? I froze up last week. I thought I fixed it. Oh, it was you. Okay. We missed you last night, Marcus. There was a void in the chat. Okay. The studio. There you go. It's fun. I would like to show up on the studio. I mean, I can't draw, so I'll just be there with my big mouth. Or maybe it'll be funny. You'll see how bad I draw. There's still time for you to create multiple accounts to flood the votes. That's what you guys are for. I got 22 people watching right now. If all 22 of you vote for me, we'll win, because like the votes come to like 28. I have to be on both, Eric. Thanks. Okay, so let's talk about this comic book. I'm so angry that I glued this and it's off kilter. It just drives me nuts. I don't want to buy another camera. I got to get like, I'm not going to get a full week's pay this entire month, because my job goes from Monday. It goes from Thursday to Wednesday is the pay. So this week I only got Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday pay, and then they paid my nephew. And then next week we have Monday off. So I'm gonna have a 4-day instead of a 5-day paycheck. And then I'm taking Friday off for an MRI. So the following week I'm gonna have a 4-day instead of a 5-day paycheck. And then it's Thanksgiving. I'm gonna have a 3-day paycheck because we have Thursday and Friday off. So I'm not gonna get a full paycheck for a long time. Excuse me, everybody. God. You could draw one of your characters like Justin. Oh, that would be fun. Yeah, that would be fun. I mean, I can't make any demands, but that would be fun. If I could lock in a Saturday, that would be really fun. The problem is next week I hope to be fulfilling. I hope to be fulfilling. So I'm hoping the next 2 weeks is nothing but fulfilling. This is my plan. Come home from work, sort bag, and then, and then Saturday, bring everything to the post office, because I don't get home till 5:30 and the post office is already closed. So, Saturday just show up with a wheelbarrow. You guys don't get holiday pay? Well, here's the thing. We pay ourselves. We put money in our 401k. And if we want holiday pay, we got 10 holidays. So that money comes out of our 401k. So I just live with 10 less, I just live with 10 less paid days a year, So, and if you're sick, you don't work, you don't pay. Or you could put in for money to come out of your 401k. That's the way it works for us. So I'm not going to complain. We get paid pretty good. So just manage, Plus, we also get this year, we get 12 weeks furlough, meaning 12 weeks off. We're on unemployment. So, you know what I mean? It's just, you work as much overtime when it's offered. You be smart with your money. Like, don't go and buy boats. Buy a small house in a rural area where you have septic tanks and no sidewalks out in the woods like me. And then just live a modest lifestyle. If you live a modest lifestyle, you're doing fine. I got no complaints. I got no complaints. Look at all the stupid stuff I got. It was fun. It's Don, me, Duck Bacon, and James D, and whoever wants to join. Justin yeah, I saw that. Justin, yeah, because Justin doesn't draw either. Yeah, Justin's a cool guy. I like it. It's good slate. Duck Bacon, I got to learn better. I don't know Duck Bacon that well. I was on a few panels with him. Excuse me. Okay, so let's get into the comic. I've been talking for 22 minutes. I'm trying to think if there's any more. Oh, at noon, I have Apex Comics. And then at 2:30 today, I have Walt Simonson. And then I'm not 100% sure, but we might do Brian Bow for Wolf and Betsy. We might have like a closeout party since his comic, I think, closes at 8 p.m. today. And just a reminder, my comic is only available on Fund My Comic right now. So here we go. Let's go. All right. So going forward, whenever I turn the page, right before I turn the page, I'll check out the chat. This is driving me nuts. This little dog ear right here. But yes, this is the actual comic that I got from the newsstand as a kid. You can see somebody wrote 23 April on it. That wasn't me. It's a little beat up. Not the best shape. I moved the light over here. The light used to be over here. So let me know if it's good lighting, bad lighting. But here we go. All right, there we go. All right, so this is Marvel Team Up, Spider-Man and Nick Fury. This is 40 cents, 83. Marcus, you probably know better than me, but I read that all of this lettering was done by Saladino. Why can't I remember his first name? But he was he did a lot of the logos and everything from Marvel, and he I think he also did art, but he wasn't known much for his art. But Saladino did the logos for Marvel. Well, his son is one of my partners at work, and when he was a kid, they all used to hang out at Frank Frazzetta's house and draw and stuff like that. He remembers Uncle Frank, so that's pretty cool. Just talk about a guy. This guy could wear the Patriarch shirt. He's ripped. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. So this cover is by Rich Buckler and Loyola, a name that I always find difficult to say. But just look at this nonsense that's going on over here. We got Spider-Man. We got Nancy Rushman, who may or may not be Natasha Romanoff, the Black Widow. And then we got Nick Fury. We got the Silver Samurai. We got Boomerang. Oh man, this one got it all. I love all this. Then we got this like broken tire over here, fire hydrant. Just chaos. Just chaos. I love how Nick Fury has like two guns. One's getting broken, one's firing. It just captures a moment of pure insanity. I really dig it. And I also am going nuts over these little dog ears. Okay, so let's check this out. I want a Battlestar Galactica t-shirt for only $4.99. $4.99. Man, I tell you, Battlestar Galactica for me was like my show because, again, in case you haven't figured it out by now, by my behavior and, what I talk, I'm not much of a joiner. I don't like groups. Fandoms are weird. Like, I have like a love-hate relationship with fandoms. Like, I kind of want things to be mine. So like as much as I love Star Wars was too big for it to be like a personal fan. But Battlestar Galactica, at least in my school, nobody cared about it. So it was like I love Star Wars. I love comics. I loved Dungeons and Dragons. I loved all that stuff. But like Battlestar Galactica was mine. You know, like I didn't really get to talk to anybody about it. You know, I watched the show. You know, I played the toys. And I read the comics. So I have a real personal relationship with Battlestar Galactica. So to the point I didn't watch the remake, you know, because I'm like, no, I don't want to. And now I hear it's really good. Is the remake worth watching? You know, now that it's over in some distance, and I heard now there's talk of like a third remake. But anyway, so let's check this out. So we got the splash page. We got Chris Claremont, author. Sal Buscema and Steve Loyola are the artists. Joe Rosen, letterer. Ben Sean, the colorist. Alan Milgram. You know, it's funny because I'm so used to Al Milgram that Alan Milgram threw me for a loop. And Jim Shooter, the editor-in-chief. And then what year is this? 1979. 1979. So I was 11 years old. Holy moly. Slaughter on 10th Avenue. You know, just look at this. Spider-Man's laying in the snow. He got waylaid. He got shot by Nick Fury. His name is Peter Parker, a.k.a. the Amazing Spider-Man. This morning, a few hours before dawn on the tenement rooftop in the west side of Manhattan, he was shot down in cold blood. In a word, murdered. There you go. I love the sunrise. You know, just check out this coloring. This is just classic model. It's funny, you could see the cameras askew, you know, just driving me nuts. You could see the coloring, just like how primitive it is, but I just love it. It's like just enough coloring to give us a color, you know, like it's like that's out of focus. That's in the distance. We don't really need to do. Now, I'm sure Marcus, you know, Marcus is classically, well, not classically trained, but he was trained in an art school. You went, right? Marcus, you went to the Kubert School. So I'm sure your insights have more verisimilitude. Is that the word than I? But like, I always thought comics worked best when they were theatrical rather than cinematic. Like, doesn't this just seem like a stage play in the props? Like cinematic, just bombastic and grand and everything. And like, you know, like when you're in the cinema, you see this big, gigantic spectacle, but it's not there. It's almost like it's an illusion. Like a theatrical is like, it's personal. There's a guy right there, and you're sitting there, and you're right there. You could hear them breathing. You could hear their shoes make like little like squeak noises on the stage. Like, I don't know. Like, this to me is like I'm here on the action. This isn't a movie that I know is, I don't know. It's weird. It's weird. What do you guys think? What do you guys think? So before I turn the page, I will address the comments. Where was I? Stippling Vaughn. I'm here. I'm alive. How you doing, Stippling? Stippling nominated me. Thank you. Glad to see you, Vaughn. Jimmy's got to go. Gaspar Saladino. Yes. Gaspar, if in the shanties of our work, you know, we get these trailers that we bring in, and that's where the guys change and have lunch and stuff like that. You know, there's all of these signs all over the place. Like, there's one that I always laugh whenever I see it. There's a guy, and there's just a brick, and he's like, oh, and his helmet's on the ground. That all these safety signs, they were all drawn by Gaspar Saladino. So we got all these Gaspar Saladino posters hanging up in they got to be like 50 years old. They're great. Battlestar Galactica inspired my comic in a big way. Just look at the ships and you can tell. Okay, what's the name of your comic again, RJ? And put it in the chat. Put the name of your comic, and maybe Marcus will put up a link. Good morning, nerds. How you doing, Tank Ferret? How's everybody? The remake was meh. The remake freaking slaps. OG Battlestar Galactica. I will say this. OG Battlestar Galactica, it's bad, but I love it. You know, it's more nostalgia. You know, it's like old Doctor Who, old Star Trek. You know, old Star Trek to me is still the best. But like, if you watch old Doctor Who, some of them are struggle to get through. Battlestar Galactica, they remake like all the space scenes. It's like they shot all the space scenes and then they just cut and pastiche them up and reuse them and stuff. I still like it though. I gotta rewatch it. I've been rewatching Space 1999 and ooh, that is a chore. That is a chore. Yeah, the remake was one of the greatest shows of all time. There we go. There we go. Gaspar took over most of the DC lettering and design work from Ira Schnapp. He also worked for Marvel under the name of L.P. Gregory. I did not know that. L.P. Gregory? I did not know that. Gaspar. I couldn't remember the name Gaspar, which is weird because it's my grandfather's brother's name, Uncle Gaspar. The remake. Everybody likes the remake. Blasphemy Tank Ferret. Season 1 are gold. It went downhill after that. It never got. See, I was like, that was one of the first instances of like my zero tolerance policy. I saw that Starbuck was a woman. I was like, I'm done. I'm done. You know, doesn't matter how good looking the woman is. I'm done. You know, just so. But I heard it was really good. People are weird, and sometimes they join fandoms. Some fandoms fuel each other to push the weirdness further, becoming self-referential. Yeah. I agree that with RJ, season 1 and 2 are on brand. It gets 2 extra after that. I went to School of Visual Arts, so I said the wrong school. I said the wrong school. Sorry. Does that mean like there's going to be like a West Side Story fight with the Sharks and the Jets? You know, the Kubert schools and the School of Visual Art guys, like they have like a pencil sword fight. They draw mustaches on each other and then you're out. Overall, mess C+. I did what I did with Star Wars and pretended the later works don't exist. Yeah, there's 3 Star Wars movies, and the number of movies being 3. 4 is no, 5 is right out. 2 is not the number unless preceded by 3. You know, there's 3 Star Wars movies. That's it. You know, one thing that we kind of memory hole is that we hated the prequels when they came out. You know, we hated the prequels so much we bullied George Lucas into selling Disney. It's our fault. You know, be careful what you wish for. The perspective on that splash page is great. What depth? Yeah. It's for the best, RJ. Yep. Call sign, or that's your comic. Call sign Orion. Is that your comic? Watch Vaughn Stipple. Yeah. You can watch Vaughn Stipple. That's the landing page with the trailer. If they do make, I think they should do it straight instead of trying to subvert expectations. They did. You're not selling me on this. Hollywood does nothing straight anymore. True. 2000 women weren't OP Mary Sue, though. You know who is an OP Mary Sue? Is this guy. This guy. Everybody exists just so he can save them and tell him how great he is. Verisimilitude. There's the word I was looking for. Roland Moore, who did Star Trek The Next Generation, Deep Space Nine, he said he did Battlestar Galactica remake to be everything Star Trek was. There you go. Yeah, we fight with sharpened pencils. There you go. I went to Armor School, AKK, Hard Knocks. I still hate the prequels. Yeah, me too. Prequels are garbage, you know. Yeah, kids love the prequels. And then you have to remind yourself that Star Wars was made for children, you know. And I love Star Wars because I was in 3rd grade when the first Star Wars came out. How can I not love it, you know? So I try not to be too hard on it. The prequels, because it was George Lucas making movies for kids. The problem was, you know, George Lucas made Star Wars, the original movies, and he had people that fought back. You know, he had critics every day on the job. Critics, you know, he had to compromise and you know, and the prequels, he was too big. You're not going to criticize George Lucas, you know. So that's what happens. The prequels and the original trilogy make a coherent, and then the sequels. It's just, you know, we don't care what George Lucas was doing. It's ours now. We are going to do what we want to do. not continue a logical progression out of love for the original material. It was almost like they tolerated the original material, so that, yeah. I don't think I'm saying anything. Prequels were more of a Clone Wars season. I didn't watch that. I hated the sequel so much. I didn't watch anything else. There's only 3 Star Wars movies and a really bad Christmas special that I did see live. I watched it live. As a Kubert alum, I'm always jealous of SVA students. They got a real art education. I can't comment on that. I met one of the Kuberts Friday. Friday after Comic-Con. I went and I met Vaughn Coleman, and we went out to dinner, and then we went to that was Saturday night. Excuse me. We went to a Marvel party, and I was this close to what's his fatness, the guy who's in charge of Marvel Comics right now. Why can't I think of his name? But I was like so tempted to say something. I was like, But anyway, I met one of the Kuberts, guy with his beautiful wife, and we were just talking. And Vaughn's friend, forgive me, I can't remember his name. He was talking. The guy goes, "Where are you working now?" And he told him like a non-comic, non-art job, and he was like, "Hey, you got to do what you got to do." It was a little awkward, a little funny, and he was really cool about it. The prequels were George Lucas finally having F-off money and doing what he wanted. I can respect that. I don't know. I don't want to watch a movie that's just like, look what I can do. It's masturbation at that point. Look what I can do. And nobody wants to see that. Like, make a good movie, Head into church. Okay. Catch up later. I'm going to have a lot of material today, Zach fan. There you go. There's my link. Stippling Vaughn, where the Kubert school fails, they should have been teaching the business side of the first year. At the end of the first year, we should have known how to do our taxes as a freelance artist. Oh, you went there too? Stippling? Was Bobby with Vaughn? Yeah. Yes. I can't remember his last name. I'm like embarrassed. Okay, so finally I will turn the page. So what do we have here? I gotta move my coffee cup. Just like every old school Marvel comic, we have a recap. So Pete's surprised that he is alive. So he's like, what happened? Because Nick Fury came and just murked him. Pete's freaking out. And now we have a recap. And I like how they're doing the recap in black and white. You can see the border panels are rounded rather than sharp edge to indicate like something is different. And we're going through. He meets Nancy Rushman. Nancy Rushman is the Black Widow as far as he's concerned, but may not be the Black Widow. She's got the Black Widow's costume. And here come these female chess agent. Chess is the name of the organization in Village Vigilante. SHIELD agents. And Nick Fury just comes and shoots them all. Boom. Shoots her, shoots Spider-Man. So Pete is livid. At the risk of sounding chauvinistic, you get this beautiful woman who's like super feminine, sweet, and everything like that, helpless. It's just like it triggers like a primal urge in Peter Parker, the chivalrous knight. He found a damsel in distress, and it just triggers a primal urge to protect. He can't help but have feeling. I mean, first off, she's gorgeous. She's the redhead. That's like classic comic books. That's classic Spider-Man. And then, it's a psychological stuff. When even people that don't like each other, if you ask them for help, it triggers something. You know what I mean? So that's what I think it was Benjamin Franklin. He would ask people that he knew hated him for help. And it was a way of like winning them over, It's hard to hate somebody when they're like, "Can you help me, please?" And it's just triggered. And then Pete is the ultimate. I don't want to say white knight because that has like negative connotations in this day and age. But he's a good guy. He's a chivalrous knight, and now he's just livid. As far as he's concerned, Nick Fury murdered the Black Widow And he's like, the only reason he's still alive is because of his superior spider powers. Okay. And now he's just swinging away in a kind of an awkward drawing, if you ask me. That's just an awkward drawing. Yes, he's a great friend of Vaughn. Yes, that's the kid with us. I can't pronounce his last name, but he was a cool guy, man. I good guy. He sat next to me in the restaurant. I'm going off to church. See ya. Just look at that magnificent composition. In any panels in particular? Any panels in particular? Women have maternal instincts, men have protector instinct. Yeah. Wow. Two genders and they have differences. And I love when you say something like that. When you say like, oh, Iceland is cold. Well, it has warm summers. Yeah, no, I'm talking in general. Understand. I always call that the apples to bushels fallacy. I don't know if it really is a fallacy, but when I'm talking about generalities and you bring up specifics, but heck, she talked to him. That's enough for most men to catch feelings. These days, yeah. Each panel and the pages it holds, there's a whole lot going on. Yes. Okay. Yeah. And this is it. Now you caught up. If you missed the last issue, which was a real thing back then, because there was, again, talking apples and bushels, there wasn't comic book stores. There wasn't the internet where you could just go to eBay or Amazon and pick stuff up. There was no digital copy. So if you missed it, you missed it. This brought you up to speed. We got this ad over here, comic conventions. This fruit stripe, this aggravating fruit stripe gum. It was like, you peel it. Oh, it's got no flavor. It was like instantly flavorless. So now we got buildings. This is I can't even read it. It's too dark. On that cue, let's cut cross town and to the left, a brand new corporate skyscraper that also happens to be S.H.I.E.L.D.'s new headquarters. So I love this. We got a corporate, so it's like a fake business front, fake businessman, and it's all S.H.I.E.L.D. As an electrician, I worked in a building in downtown Manhattan. I forget the address, but it's famously on the internet because it's a big, huge building it's all like brick facade and there's no windows. There's absolutely no windows. And people always like, what goes on in that building? What goes on? And I worked in that building and it's all servers. It's all servers. So there's really no need. The first 4 floors are subletted out to the Department of Corrections. So there's like administrative Office of Corrections offices there. But once you go to the 5th or higher, it's real spooky. It's like a 22-story skyscraper, all brick, and it's just no windows. It's the creepiest thing. Every once in a while, there's like a slit to let air in because you got to get air into all those servers, otherwise it gets hot. And when you work there, it is the creepiest, eeriest thing because it's just silent. There's nobody walking around. It's just eerie, And it's funny. I'm up on like the 18th floor, and they have these little doorways that are like half as wide as regular doorways, and you have to go in sideways, and you're literally like working like this, with wires and stuff like this. And so I'm in there, and all the lights are on motion sensors. So the elevator opens up, the lights go on in the lobby. Across from the elevators was one of these doors. I go in, and then the lights go out. So I literally have a hanging light above my head in this room. And with the door mostly shut, because they kind of like, nobody knows I'm there. And I'm in there. I probably have headphones on, listening to music, doing my job. And I'm not paying attention. I don't think anything of it. And then I open the door to come out. And this poor woman from the Department of Corrections, she's smart. Like I said, the first 4 floors, it was departments of corrections, and they were busy, and it was administrative. It's not like they were criminals or anything that brought down there, but it's all administrative or whatever. But the bathrooms were either dirty or she was smart. she would take an elevator, go up like the 18th floor, and she would have her own personal bathroom. Nobody was ever there, and the bathrooms were clean. They still had janitors that would go up once a day and clean all the bathrooms. That's got to be like the best job in the world, the janitor in that building, because you got 22 floors and only 4 of them are occupied. So she would go up there, go to the bathroom. So I'm coming out, I'm putting my tools away. I hear a toilet flush. I hear the door, and I'm still in my doorway, so the lights are off in the lobby. I'm in my area putting my stuff together. It's either lunchtime or quitting time, I forget. And she comes into the lobby, the lights go on, and that's what alerted me that somebody's there. So me being me, I just go, "Hey, how you doing?" And this poor woman, it's like Jackie Gleason from The Honeymooners. She's clutching her chest. She's leaning on the wall. She's sliding down slowly. Scared the crap out of her. That's the whole reason why. Oh man, did I feel bad? Like I wanted to laugh, but she got scared so bad that I got scared. It was bad. So I'll finish talking about these pages and I'll adjust the chat. So here we got, like I said, talking about the, I hate to say primitive, but I'll say old school coloring. Look at that. 3 colors on the whole page. 4 if you want to include the white and the word balloons. We got, can you see this? The doctors operating on poor Nancy Rushman because, she was shot. And what are they doing? They're putting we got the shadowy figure coming in. I love this. They're doing surgery on Nancy Rushman and Natasha Roman. And what's Nick doing? He's smoking. I mean, I know he's on the other side of the glass, but still, it just makes me laugh. Got to have a stogie, and this, they draw him so young looking. And this was before all that Infinity Zerums stuff, before it became a real problem. And now here we got the Valkyries, the female chess. I keep saying chess. The female shield agents that are, they got beaten up by Spider-Man. This is Agent Stillwell. Agent Stillwell. I think they put him in the Ant-Man movies. They had a bald guy that played him, but and I think he turned out to be a Hydra agent. But Agent Stillwell was always one of my favorite shield agents. There was a couple of shield agents that I really, really liked, like Clay Quartermain, Agent Stillwell, Jasper Stillwell. And what he was the ultimate like administrative guy, So he was like a super accountant, just good with numbers. And then a few times he showed that steadfastness in field training. So I don't know. I just like the tough guy nerd. If you watched that show Banshee, the Amish gang lead, the Amish gang lead Proctor, he had like a second in command that was like Jasper Stillwell. He had the glasses and everything. Like that show was bad but good at the same time. So now we got Peter Parker trying to figure out what's going on. He's going to the morgue to find bodies. You got the classical stern lady who doesn't want to be interrupted. You want to find stuff? Here you go. You find it. So he's looking up the information to solve the mystery. What happened? So let's go back to the chat. I talked a lot. Where did I go? Where was the last thing? The eye catches each key moment. Yes, I agree. Tank Ferret, this is Sal's layouts. He could really tell an exciting story. I love when guys like Marcus comment on the art because he has a different point of view, him being an artist. Sal was one of my favorite layouts. Sounds like a phone company in central office. Yeah, I'm sure Atlanta has one too. While I was in that building, it was only a few years after the World Trade Center bombing, and they were like, this is the 6th highest security target in the United States. Like if that building went down, the internet, like on what they said, like a third of the United States would go down. They have this beautiful chandelier in the lobby, big like Art Deco lobby. It's like, I don't know, I think it was built in the 40s. So you can cram 2 books in one and not overpopulate the book. Yeah. Yeah. Work calls. Yeah, you got to pay those bills. Hey, Dave's here. How you doing, Dave? How's everything? How's everything? Uh, how's Daniel doing? I haven't spoke to Daniel in a while because I haven't had any pages. Just curious how Daniel's doing. How's Daniel being the colorist for your comic? Daniel's a great guy, and I know his dad was in and out of the hospital for a while. I'm getting John a mask for next Halloween. Am I that ugly? I'm that ugly? Oh man. Just put a pillowcase over my head. Perfect 10, book 5, and Power Trip. I backed. I can't wait. I Genuine Comics. Oh my God, they're so good. They're so good. I'm off to church. Wow, I'm sending everybody to church. I'm sending everybody go to church. Yo, Dave, you magnificent bastard. Pray for all of us. Pray for everybody. See, I need all the help I could get. Phantom Outsider, how you doing? Sitwell tried to stop Grey Gargoyle from hurting Madame Mask, who at the time he was in love with, and then she started to that poor Sitwell. You know, what are you gonna do? You're in Tony Stark's shine. What are you gonna do? You know what I mean? Poor, you got poor Mars affected by the orbit of Jupiter. Hey, Daniel dropped off a map for me too. I talked to him on Friday. He said he'd be back to work. Oh, good. Daniel's a good guy. Oh my God. Something just slid and fell behind me. I almost died. Oh, I almost got killed. My sword fell. My Excalibur sword. That was way back when Iron Man was in Tales of Suspense. I remember that. That was old school. That was those comics I got in a collection that I bought. All right, so let's go. We got ads. We got Pete Rose with batting practice. He's telling kids how to bet on baseball over here. You know, remember, if you don't bet on a game you're on, but bet on other people's games, which is fine. You're going to tell me that, I don't know, don't bet on a game you're in. That's it. If you bet on a game you're in, I can understand. But he didn't bet, as far as I know, he didn't bet on games that he was in. So now Pete, you know, he's doesn't have the information that he wants. He got the information that he wants. He found out that there's a shield building nearby him. So he comes in dressed like the Unabomber. Can you see that? You know, he looks like the mugshot or the. He goes into the elevator, strips down, which means, come on, this is Shield. They recorded you turning into Spider-Man. You know what I mean? Come on, even in 1979, Shield would have cameras in the elevator. You know. Now he's going through the hatch at the top, and I love this. I've always loved these kind of touches. This is the kind of stuff that really I thought made Spider-Man so appealing to regular people. Is now he makes a knapsack and puts his clothes in. He can't afford to not have his. Oh, he webbed up the cameras. There we go. Pizza genius. Scratch that, reverse it, and the security guards go in. And where do you go? I love this panel. I love that panel. I just love the way the ropes. I just love that panel. And here we got Doctor over here. Now we've seen another layer of the plot being. This Doctor's doing his paperwork, his administrative stuff, and energy comes through this communication device. I will destroy her. So now poor Nancy Rushman, Natasha Romanoff. We got the skipper from Gilligan's Island over here is about to kill her, and boom. By the way, when I got into my car accident, remember I told you that there was a guy, the first guy who responded, I called him the skipper from. This is like exactly what he looked like. So just imagine him, but he had a blue uniform. He was the fire chief. He was the retiring firing chief. You know, he was retiring, so he was going to work or coming back from work, you know, and he still had his uniform on. And she wakes up and she takes him out. Boom. You know, and she's like, what's going on here? I'm in some sort of hospital. That man's dressed like a doctor, yet he was trying to kill me. I stopped him, but I don't know how. Just dun dun dun. Comic books. Dave writes well. He'll tell you comic books. You got to have soap opera in them. Rose bet on his own team when he was managing. Oh, he did. Okay, there you go. I didn't know that. I'm not a baseball fan, but as far as I knew, I didn't think he. So I forgot he was managing. He bet on his team to win. No problem. I got no problem with that either. If he bet on his team to lose, I would have a problem. That's like Mike Tyson going into a fight saying, I'll put my own money on the fight. I'm going to win. I got no problem with that. But what do I know? No, still no Black Dragon Society yet. How am I supposed to learn Dim Mak? I know. From the Deadliest Man. Richard, what's his name? Count Dante. He's actually an NPC in my role-playing game. One of my friend's characters time traveled to the 70s and met Count Dante. So Sitwell was courageous and heroic, but wasn't successful. He was successful at being courageous and heroic. He just wasn't successful with the ladies. He wasn't rich enough, I guess, because Tony Stark was successful and heroic, but he had a little bit of this. I need to prepare for the next Chicago Dojo Wars. If anybody has a link, because they were supposedly on television, and I searched and I can't find those. The Count Dante actually fighting. With and I think some real famous martial artists showed up. If anybody has video of that, I would love to see that. Marvel should take a backpack for kids that looks. Oh, that's pretty cool. Did he call you little buddy? It's funny because I was just like, "You're the skipper," and he's like, "Yeah, I am the skipper." And then another car pulled up behind him, and two women came out, and they were walking, and I'm like, I go, "If you're the skipper, is that Ginger and Marianne?" And I was like, "I must be dead. I died in a car accident, and I'm going to heaven, and it's Gilligan's Island." And I was like, "Does that mean I've been good? Does that mean I'm bad?" And it really made me start thinking a lot, theologically about Gilligan's Island. I was like, limbo and all 7 of the castaways were the 7 deadly sins. This is what I was thinking of when I was in the emergency room. Marcus is laughing. Count Dante. I know much about baseball as yeah. I don't know baseball. I know as much about baseball as like a disinterested American, probably more than a Korean, a disinterested Korean, but I don't know baseball. I even worked for the Mets, and I hated it. I hated every minute of it. Still had the hots for Whitney Frost, Madam Mask. Can you blame them? And they tried to stop Greg Gargoyle. It was turned to stone for an hour. I remember that. So we got she's doing the kung fu moves. She's doing the Dim Mak, and she doesn't know why. And then we got the Star Wars ad. I love this. I had all of these original Star Wars guys. Hammerhead. Walrus Man. Now this Walrus Man is tall. The Walrus Man that I got, that was Snaggletooth. That's right. There was a tall Snaggletooth advertised in the Sears catalog, and that was the only place I've ever seen it, and I was never able to get it. That was like, I wanted that more than any other one because it was different. But I had all of these. I had that stand. You put it, and I had it at my desk, and there was like a piece of cardboard that you folded and you put it in the stand, and then it had a sticker that you put across the front, and it had all their names, and then little levers. So I thought that was the coolest. You sent away for it before even the toys were out. That's how confident they were. And then we wear Spot Built just like OJ. There we go. Spot Built. For some reason, you don't see OJ Simpson in ads anymore. I mean, I know he died, but for whatever reason, you don't really see OJ Simpson. Does anybody know why? I don't know why. So now we got, what does she do? Figures. The only outfit hanging around for me to wear is the old Black Widow's costume. Spider-Man said I was the Black Widow. Everything's so confused. I feel so weak I could barely stand. I remember being shot. So now we got these chess agents and these really, I don't know. I always dug these yellow uniforms with these like over the shoulder holsters and everything like that, boots that they were like Dave Brink, I'm sure, could understand what I'm talking about, but like they were a perfect blend between a superhero costume and like a military outfit, because that's to me what like Shield was. They were like the margin between military and superheroes. I, I, I don't know. I love a good government organization in comics, and yes, I have an organization in Heroic Tales. I think yes, next issue you'll meet one of the agents. So I love this. Spider-Man ain't holding back. He's punching these guys, and their teeth are coming out. But don't worry, they got good dental. If you work for Shield, you got full dental coverage. And we got Spider-Man over here. Look at this sexy Black Widow. Look at that. That is not Scarlett Johansson. I'm sorry. Somebody got mad at me. I forget who, but Scarlett Johansson is beautiful. She got that va-va-va-voom figure, but she doesn't have the exotic, Scarlett Johansson is I will say that she looked the best in her first appearance in the Iron Man movie, when she had the red hair and everything like that, with red. But I don't know. She just looks like a too wholesome, all-American girl, Black Widow is supposed to have like a mysterious, exotic beauty about her. I still say like Famke Jack at the beginning of her, at the when she was in James Bond, that would have been perfect. And I even would take, why can't I think of her name now? Eva Green with red hair. She would be a good Black Widow. They have like mysterious eyes. So now Spider-Man's showing up. And I tell you, man, I used this story a lot. Like when I thought I could draw, and I would like copy all the like Spider-Man. I would use that as like the male figure. So when I was drawing my comics, I would look around for a panel that had like Spider-Man in a pose that I wanted to simulate to draw. And this Black Widow, she became the female figure. Even through the face, you can see he's just annoyed. Like he's just annoyed, and I love this. He smacks the Black Widow because Black Widow's freaking out. She's just freaking out. All that training, all that instinct is just gone out the window. Because at this point, me as an 11-year-old, I'm not quite 100% convinced this is the Black Widow. Like, what is going on? I mean, so he slaps her. Sometimes you just got to hit a girl, It knocks her out, and then he goes into this mysterious hole that is just in Shield. This safety violation. This security violation. Let's make a big hole big enough for Spider-Man to carry a woman through the entire building. It's in every movie, but they don't exist. They do have a, what do they call them? Plenum. They're shaft. Like sometimes they're just huge. Like I've been in buildings, like the building I was just talking about. The entire core of the building is just a hole, open to the sky. So like I could land on the roof and jump to my death 20 stories to the ground, and it's always filled with garbage down there because nobody goes there. And then they just have little grates to let air in the building. But if I was to jump down, like a one job, I had to take what do they call it? A bosun chair, and I had it with cable, and I had to wear a harness, strap myself to the chair, and I had to go down the building and put pipe down the building, down the plenum. That was a lot of fun. You look down, if you dropped your screwdriver, that was it. You're not getting it again. That was fun. That was part of my training when I was trained to become an electrician. We actually climbed up a building on a rope like Spider-Man, and then hopped up the rope. And they had an apprentice holding the other side of the rope. That was it. There was a pulley. There was an apprentice holding the rope. And I said, I'm not going up that. And he goes, what do you mean you're not going up that? I go, look at your safety. he goes, well, what do you do when you're a journeyman electrician? I said, if I'm a journeyman electrician and my foreman tells me to go climb up a building and he's just going to hold the other end of the rope, and I would tell him, no, this isn't safe. We need to engineer safety mechanisms. And he was like, that's a good answer. So it was funny because I was the last one to go out of the 18 of us, and I didn't have to go because I satisfied, and he's like, oh, that's a good answer. Yeah. I said, I'd tell him to get a Bosun chair with a quick lock mechanism, and harnesses. I said, I'm not going over the side of a building because you're holding a rope. Like, good answer. And everybody was pissed. I didn't have to do that. The big fat guys are all like huffing and puffing. One guy just couldn't do it. He was embarrassed in front of everybody. But there you go. So here it goes to the roof. I love this. There's just like a quick escape port all the way to the roof. Spider-Man's carrying the Black Widow over his shoulder like dirty laundry, and he gets out. I love this. SHIELD. This is SHIELD, the elite security of the world, and they have this like Death Star type flaw in their system. They don't even show him pulling like the bars off of it, the covers. It's just open. It's open to anybody, and then there's just like an aluminum cover up here. It's just funny. All right. I was talking. Well, it was the Mets after all. I actually brought a pair of boot OJ was selling. Did they fit? Did the boots fit? Rose bet on the Reds to win. He was a baseball player manager. However, the rules were players, managers cannot wager. Yeah. I understand. Rules are rules, yes. But, if he was betting on the other team, I understand. I actually bought a pair of the boots. Oh, okay. Tank Ferret repeat them. OJ and Pele sold me footwear and comics. I forgot about the Pele ads. Yeah, Pele. No idea why SHIELD wore yellow as AIM wore yellow. Shouldn't they have a different color scheme? AIM yellow, Hydra green. SHIELD was usually, yes, later on SHIELD was blue. You're absolutely right. Maybe we could say that this was like the uniform for people that were stationed in this particular building. And then you'll see this particular building wasn't the best place to be. So maybe you're more right than you think. Got more work telephone calls. Be right back. Everybody, we'll just wait. We'll wait for Tank Ferret. There's something you hardly ever see. Spidey smacking a woman. Let's act like we didn't see that. Well, she was hysterical. What else are you going to do? Maintenance access ports. So the apprentice holds the rope. Sure, get the lowest paid, least experienced guy to hold your life in his hand, especially since being a new guy yourself, you might leap. I know. That's I looked at him like, what are you kidding me? I was like, no, I'm not doing that. And we got the SHIELD helicarrier, and now we got Clay Quartermain. Clay Quartermain was like the ubiquitous SHIELD agent that was always there in everywhere. But I think he died in the Nick Fury versus SHIELD Maxi series with the Steranko covers. And I don't think he's ever come back. I think he's one of the few characters that stayed dead. And then who's that? Hey? I always thought she was one of the sexiest characters. And then we got Boomerang and the Silver Samurai. And here she is. I love that panel. All that matters is the plan. She hits the button and we got good morning news. President Carter will address the Joint Chiefs of Staff. And when that speech is done, the world will never be the same again. And then you can hear it. Dun, dun, da. So we got Nick Fury talking on an old school telephone booth. I love all that. We got graffiti and look at this. Continuity error over here, because over here we see some sort of building, and I don't know what that is, like a park bench, garbage, and then over here we see a house. So, where did he go? To me, this is like three panels that are a little bit disjointed, but it doesn't really matter because the focus is Nick Fury. But I'm surprised that got through the editor. He's in this cool car, and I don't know. I just love this panel. It's just sinister, creepy, obvious, but it just works, And then we got Boomerang, just comes flying out. I've always loved Boomerang. I don't know why. I like him so much better than Captain Boomerang. And then Peter Parker. Hi, my name's Peter Parker. Don't be frightened. I'm a friend. I got trust issues. I don't blame you. Hey, Grey Wolf is here. How you doing? We got Captain America throwing his mighty shield. It's the flying shield. Marcus, do you know who drew this? Is this Rich Buckler? Because that doesn't look like John Romita. Man, I got hungry all of a sudden. So here we got Peter Parker, and we got Nancy Richmond with, her mammalian protuberances, just standing up and saying hello. Hey, you doing, Pete? These are my boobs, And I love this. He's got soup. And you know what? It took me 1979 to 2024 to realize the last thing she remembers was Spider-Man slapping her around. So no wonder he didn't have the costume on. You know what I mean? She would have woke up freaking out. So it's like, yeah. So here's my Aunt May's chicken soup. I was in a hospital. A doctor tried to kill me. Relax, you're safe now. So now what do we have? She's recalling more information. She goes from these different face. So we got this, memory, like different color, different shading. I love this. This is the kind of thing that would confuse my sister. My sister can't stand comic books. She's got 5 kids, and she remembers she would read to them at night. She said she hated when they wanted a comic book because she didn't understand. And this is the kind of thing I think a newbie to comics would be confused with. But I mean, I was only 11 years old, but it's understood that she's talking over here, and then this is her memories being illustrated. And we got this same mysterious figure, Blackwood. So now we're starting to piece together the details. With each refusal, there is pain. Even this vague memory of its pain, she's freaking out. Good Lord, what was done to her? So now it's getting clear. Black Widow, Natasha Romanoff, she went undercover, deep undercover, and now she's being tortured, and she can't come out of she was like a sleeper agent, and she's too far in. She's being tortured. It's just great. Just so great. I want to address this. You read comic pattern in a Z pattern. Yeah, that's something that you learn, and that's something that I try to keep in mind when I'm sending scripts to Renzo. You know what I mean? Will it flow easily? Like that? That's my biggest concern. Like when you get Heroic Tales, I want you to like the comic. I want you to enjoy the comic. I want you to like it so much that you're going to come back for issue number 2. That's the goal. But if you don't like the comic, if you could, that's fine. I don't like the characters. I don't like the art. I don't like that. That's all subjective. But if you tell me it was confusing, I couldn't follow it, that to me means I failed. So I want you to be like, I didn't like the comic, but I followed it. Made sense. The storytelling was good. It wasn't disjointed. It didn't cause confusion or anything like that. But ultimately, of course, I want you to like the comic. So yeah, but our sister couldn't get that Z pattern in her head. I'm not sure. Maybe Joe Sinnott drew that, Cap. Okay. Oh, Apex Comics is going to be here in an hour. I should put up an announcement, but I'm here right now. So let's. I always try to put up an hour before I go live. So look at this Man-Thing Ed. Look at that Man-Thing Ed. And then we got a Cylon pen with Reese's Peanut Butter Cups, Mallow Cups, and a smoothie. I don't remember ever seeing a smoothie. I never saw that before. I mean, I saw that ad, but I guess I never really thought about it. So now you got Pete catching the feels. They're hugging. And then, boom, we got Nick Fury over here with this really cool sci-fi ray gun. Hands where I could see them. You're both under arrest. No, please don't shoot that again. You got a warrant, mister? What I got, smart mouth, is the gun. As for charges, try espionage or treason. Let's go. So Nick Fury don't need no warrant. He's above that. Right? He's above that. So here we go. I just love this shadow shading. To me, this car is a little too small. You know, it's supposed to be a small car, but you ain't getting three people in that. Peter Parker's got some Spidey sense going. And what does he do? He pushes Natasha Romanoff and accidentally Nick Fury out of the way of danger. We got a crackle, boom! And what do we got? We got the boomerang. Perfect. Fury's forgotten about me in all this excitement. Go to the head of the class, hero. That boomerang I tossed at you, Porsche may have missed, Colonel Darling. No one's going to notice me slipping away. So Peter Parker is jumping out of the way. Dun, dun, dun. You can hear the music swelling. Boomerang is throwing boomerang. I love this. Nick Fury ain't having any of it. We find out that this gun ain't firing tranquilizer darts, which like he fired last time. These are firing, regular bullets, explosive charges, what have you. And then Boomerang don't have no boomerang senses. And then, as far as I'm concerned, this should be all she wrote. I don't remember. Does Boomerang have he doesn't have like an enhanced metabolism or anything. He just has I don't even think he could fly. I think it's the suit of these boomerangs that convey the ability for him to fly. I think he's just a normal guy in a super suit. Let's watch some girly movies. We got some Super 8 film and some girly movies. Get some beers, get some girly movies, bet on some games, have Pete Rose over. There you go. The Adventures of Grit Boy. I remember as a kid, I always thought this was the coolest when I saw Superman in a Marvel comic. Oh man, get some kryptonite rocks. And what it was rocks painted with like a phosphorescent paint. I remember Scott down the road had one. So I'm just gonna finish up the next couple of pages, then I'll address the chat. So I always remember this. And it's funny because in my mind, this was John Byrne. When I was a kid, I didn't pay attention to the credits. I didn't know who wrote this. I'm not joking. It was probably like 5 or 6 years ago when I found out this was all written by Chris Claremont. As a kid, I just absorbed comics. I didn't care about the people behind them. I just knew this was a good one. This was a bad one. It wasn't until the X-Men that I really, really started paying attention to the credits. So in my mind, this was John Byrne because it was a Marvel comic and Marvel had a house style, But I mean, now I could see the difference. But back then, I was just a kid who was just like, this is good comics. So he body slams Boomerang. They were watching. He gets exploded roadie. Black Widow is now, using her training. She saves Spider-Man. That hurts her. Boomerang realizes that Nick Fury still has a gun. We got to take care of that. Spider-Man is just beating the crap out of him. Look at Spider-Man. This ain't wimp Spider-Man like you see now. This is like tough guy Spider-Man. He's intimidating him. He's like, stay down. I'll crush your face. And it's so bad that we got the Silver Samurai. He's got the teleportation ring that he stole from John Belushi. Yes. John Belushi from Saturday Night Live had the teleportation ring. Silver Samurai invaded Saturday Night Live and stole the teleportation ring from John Belushi. So there you go. See the legendary Marvel Team Up number 74. That's when Spider-Man saves the the cast of Saturday Night Live from the Silver Samurai. And Silver Samurai faces off against John Belushi and steals the teleportation ring. Great little bit of Marvel trivia. So now Silver Samurai shows up and he's wearing that crazy. Oh, look. And he's wearing that crazy teleport ring he stole off John Belushi. Fun and Games #1. That'll be fun. Maybe I'll do that for Sunday Comics. We'll solve all these puzzles together. I love this ad. I have always loved this ad. Even though the Thing, my favorite, has betrayed me with fruit pies, which are horrible and disgusting and evil, and only werewolves and vampires would eat them. But I don't know. I love Ben Grimm. And I love I love when Ben Grimm was drawn like hokey. So now, of course, we know what's happening. Silver Samurai with this like energy blade. What's he do? He uses what is it? Valor is the best part of this, whatever, but we would give me nothing but greater pleasure. You're wrong, off balance, perhaps, but these three are far from helpless. So they talk. Silver Samurai, being all honorable, he flees. Poof. He's like, what the neat trick, huh? Now we don't know where they're going. I think I could tell. There's a lot of things are still hazy, but my memory is coming back. So now the plot is afoot. Natasha is coming out of this hypnotic, deep, post-hypnotic suggestion that she's under, and now they're going to go on the offensive. So 2 issues of Spider-Man and Natasha being on the defensive. Now they're going on the offensive. The super spy that she is, she remembers everything. And I love looking at the names. Tom Opperman, Jim Joyce, and then we got the super gifts and gimmicks, and the Daisy 840 power action accuracy. There you go. This, you will not shoot your eye out if you use that. And we got the great cash prizes. So I just wanted to finish this up because Apex is coming on in 40 minutes. I want to put something on Twitter at least. I actually read the comic credits even when I was 11. See, I didn't. I didn't read the letters pages. I didn't read the Stan soap ops. I didn't read the Bolton Bulletin. So now whenever I reread a comic, there's a lot of material that's new to me, because since I got into reading all of that stuff, there's a lot of it that I still didn't read. So sometimes I'll read a comic and I'm like, oh, wow. I'll read the whole comic and then I'll go back and I'll read the bulletins and the letters pages and everything. It's neat. Sometimes it's great to hear Stan, and I always read them in his voice. Me too, Apex, when I went through the spin rack looking for more of their work. Okay, yeah. Eventually I caught on. I'm going to say at the age of 11 when this came out, I didn't care, but I'll probably in the next couple of years is when I started paying attention, mostly to artists, and then later on writers. Until this day, it's mostly the, unless it's John Byrne, I pay more attention to who's writing the comic than who does the art. Like Salvation, I followed him in the early Captain America 170. He was replaced by Frank Robbins. Then Herb Trimpe left. Incredible Hulk was replaced. Yeah. Hell, John, I'm at work early. It's about 5:30 in the morning. These old team-up issues were such fun. Cheers. And thank you. I saw you did a late-night tribute to my comic. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. RRTNZ is... He's like, I guess your feet pics are in the mail. Your feet pics are in the mail. Grit. You sold Grit? Wow. You got to come on my channel and talk about that. You got to tell me about that. That's been like a running joke in the first 2 years of my channel, talking about Grit. Wow, somebody actually sold Grit. You got to tell me about it. A treasure of information in old back issue comic. Yeah, and that's the kind of stuff when you slab the comics. The facsimile reprints do that. They show the entire comic, warts and all, ads and everything like that. But for the most part, when you buy them in trade paperbacks and collections and artists, you don't get all of that wonderful meta stuff. I love all those. Tank Fair, you really got to tell me about Grit. So there you go. I canvass whole neighborhoods selling Grit and Boy's Life. Did you get the jackets and all those cool rewards that they and where do you live? It was like a rural thing, right? It was like a newspaper for farmers or something. I don't really know. Hey, Pity Ma's here. How the dogs? How the dogs doing, Pity Ma? Good to see you. So there you go. I'm going to close this down now because I want to tweet on Twitter that Apex is coming on in a half hour. I want to make another pot of coffee, and my stomach is grumbling. So, give myself a half hour to get ready. Normally, I would talk forever. You know that. But there you go. So in 30 minutes, this guy's coming on the channel. We're going to talk about his comic. And then knowing me, I'll derail it and talk about nonsense. And then at 2:30, Walt Simonson will be on. So there you go. I'm going to shut everything down. Hey, Oscar's here. How you doing, Oscar? Oscar, what size are you? What size are you? Okay. I'd love to come on once I get my rig back up and streaming. Yeah, open invite. You let me know. You let me know. Yep, Simonson's at 2:30 tonight. So I'm going to shut it down, and I will shut it down with this. So good night. I'll see you in a half hour.